Ever feel like your data is just this big, tangled mess? We're talking about that mountain of files and folders and permissions, like a jungle inside your iManage system. And you're not alone if you feel that way. Today, we're diving into iReports from MacroAgility. They're supposed to help you make sense of it all and actually use that data to, actually get somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's one thing to have iManage, but it's a whole other thing to use it well, right? It's like we're talking about finding that needle in the haystack, but also we got to think about staying compliant, managing costs, all that. And it seems like iReports can help wrangle all of that.
So it's more than just like organizing files. There's a real business impact here.
Absolutely. Think of it like this information is power, right?
Yeah.
But only when you can get to it, when you understand it, when you can actually use it strategically.
Which can feel kind of impossible when you're looking at this like digital abyss of documents. How am I even supposed to know how big my files are, let alone who can even see them?
Those are the right questions to be asking, and it seems like MacroAgility gets that. Their iReports are supposed to decode all that, give you a clear picture with dashboards, deep dives, the whole works.
And it keeps saying you don't have to be a tech whiz to get it. No need to write SQL queries or anything like that.
Visuals are key, and it seems like they get that. Whether you're the IT expert or you just need a clear picture of, the information landscape, these reports are supposed to help bridge that gap.
Okay, so you've convinced me. But let's get into the specifics. Why is getting a handle on your iManage environment so important? And we're talking beyond, it'd make my life a bit easier.
Right. We're talking about the bottom line. Remember that time you needed to find that super important contract? You needed it like yesterday. Or that feeling when you realize you don't know who can actually see that really sensitive information.
And don't even get me started on what we spend to store it all. Companies are spending so much on cloud storage.
You're hitting on all the big pain points. Data that's just all over the place. It leads to wasted time, security risks, and yeah, you're right, wasted money. And iReports are supposed to help you get a handle on all of that.
Okay, so less chaos, more control. I like that. MacroAgility has like a ton of reports. But let's start with their dashboard reports. Those seem like, mission control for all your data, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Picture this. You log in and bam, you see everything in iManage, all at once. Storage trends, active users, even those huge files, the ones 4 gigabytes or whatever, the ones you need to do something about.
Wait, so I can actually see those storage hogs and I can see them over time. That's huge. Then you can actually plan. No more freaking out last minute when you're about to run out of space.
Exactly. It's about being proactive, not just reacting when something goes wrong. You can see those trends, you can plan for what you need, and you can make smart choices about your resources.
Okay, I'm sold on the dashboard. But there's a ton of other reports too. What about workspace and folder reports? What's the deal with those?
Remember that whole thing about a mountain of laundry? Well, workspace reports, it's like sorting that laundry by color. All of a sudden, finding your way through those folders and workspaces, it's so much easier.
So no more clicking through a million directories just to find one file.
Exactly. You can get a complete list of every workspace and folder. You can filter them how you want. You can even see which ones are just empty and ready to be deleted.
That's huge for organization and for security. Imagine being able to just instantly see who has access to what and then making sure it actually lines up with all your security stuff.
You got it. It's about managing risk, making sure your data is protected, but it's also about making it easier to work together.
Okay, makes sense. We've got dashboards for the big picture, workspace reports for, workspaces. But what about the most important part, the documents themselves?
That's where document reports come in. They give you every little detail about every single file in your iManage system. It's like your own personal document detective.
Okay, sure, give me the rundown.
So imagine this. You have the searchable list of every single document, right? And you can see everything, its whole history, who's looked at it, even if it's checked out right now, need to find a missing file. This is what you use.
I think we all know how stressful a missing file can be. And this sounds amazing for audits and compliance.
Absolutely. Document reports give you that paper trail you need, especially if you're in an industry with a lot of regulations. You can prove you're doing things right and avoid those big fines.
It's like having someone taking perfect notes, 24/7.
Exactly. But it's not just about finding the document. It's also about making sure the stuff in it is accurate and that it's all consistent. And that's where metadata comes in, which we'll get into in a bit.
And we're back. Still digging into iManage reports. We've seen how these reports can give us an overview of all our data. But now let's talk about the thing nobody talks about.
Yeah,
Metadata.
Yeah, metadata. People don't think about it much, but it's really important. It's what holds everything together.
Okay, but when I hear metadata, I think data about data. And honestly, kind of boring.
It's really not that complicated. It's like, imagine you have these little tags on all your files, right? And those tags tell you things like what kind of document it is, who made it, when it was changed last, even keywords so you know what's in it.
So instead of just seeing a file name like contract.docs with a bunch of other files,
Mhm.
I can actually see stuff about that contract without even opening it.
You got it. That's where these metadata reports from MacroAgility come in. Imagine searching for all your contracts with a certain client, written by a certain lawyer, between certain dates. With metadata filters, easy peasy.
Okay, that makes way more sense than data about data.
Mm.
No more guessing games or trying to figure out what a file is from the name. But this isn't just about finding stuff, is it? It seems like it'd be really important for keeping things consistent, too.
You're absolutely right. Think about client names, case numbers, project codes, all that stuff that needs to be the same across your whole system. Metadata reports make sure that happens, which is, it's important and if you want to be compliant and if you just want your data to, not be a disaster.
Data hygiene. I love it. Okay, so metadata check. Now let's talk about the humans. Where do users and groups fit into these reports?
It's all about knowing who has access to what and how they're actually using the system. User reports give you the full picture of everyone on iManage, what they can do, what they're allowed to see, even how often they're actually logging in.
So I can see who's logging in, what they're looking at, how often. That's like you could spot security problems right away.
Exactly. Like, what if there's an account that hasn't been used in forever, but it still has permission to see everything? Not good. Or maybe someone's looking at files they shouldn't be. Time to change some permissions.
It's like having eyes everywhere, but not in a creepy way. But it's not all about catching the bad guys, right?
You're right. It's also about, making things work better. Like maybe there's a team that's having trouble using a new system. You can use the data to give them the right training so they can be more efficient.
So instead of just doing the same thing for everyone, you can be more strategic.
Yeah.
I like that. And what about these group reports? What's the deal with those?
Group reports take it a step further. They show you how everyone's organized within iManage. So like departments, teams, project groups, all that. Need to see who has access to a confidential client folder, group report, need to add people to a project, grant permissions with a couple clicks.
Wow. This is making me rethink how we handle access, like completely.
Yeah.
No more going through lists of names forever.
Right. It's about efficiency, it's about transparency, and it's about control. All those things make your life easier and your data safer. And when you take those insights and you combine them with the dashboard, the workspace, and the document reports, that's when you really get a complete understanding of, your whole iManage world.
It's like all these reports are pieces of a giant data puzzle, right? We've
Yeah.
got the overview of the organization, the individual files, and now we even see how they all connect.
Exactly. That's the whole point. It's not enough to just have reports. You have to be able to actually use the data to make good decisions.
Speaking of making good decisions, MacroAgility says that these reports get real results. They talk about optimized resource planning and enhanced user engagement, but those sound like, marketing buzzwords.
Yeah,
What are some real-world examples?
I hear you. It's easy to get lost in the jargon. Let's say your job is to, spend less money on storage. Instead of just deleting stuff randomly, you run a couple of reports and bam, you find all these huge video files that are like 10 years old just sitting there.
You found the stuff you can get rid of without any problems.
Exactly. With that data, you can decide, okay, we can archive these, we can compress them, whatever you need to do. You save space, and you save the company a ton of money.
I bet the CFO loves that.
Mhm.
Okay, I get the cost-saving thing. But what about that enhanced user engagement thing?
Let's say you're trying to get everyone to use a new system for managing documents, but nobody's really using it. Instead of assuming everyone hates change, you take a look at the iReports. Maybe you see that one team isn't using the new metadata tags correctly.
So it's not that they don't want to use it, they just don't know how, W. And now you know exactly who to train.
Exactly. They get the training, they're up to speed, and all of a sudden, the new system's working great. That's enhanced user engagement. Everyone's on the same page, things are more efficient, and you're more likely to be compliant.
This is blowing my mind. We've covered so much with these iReports, dashboards, workspaces, documents, metadata, users, and groups. Is there even more?
Oh, yeah. We talked about the what and the why. Now we got to talk about the how. How do these reports fit into what you do every day? How can we automate them so they just work?
Okay, You've totally got me hooked. Don't go anywhere, listeners. When we come back, we're getting into the really practical stuff about iReports. We're talking about automation, integration, all that cool stuff. Stay tuned. Welcome back, Data Explorers. We've gone deep into this iManage thing with our trusty guide, iReports from MacroAgility. We've seen the big picture, found some hidden patterns, even metadata.
Yeah.
So now what? How do we actually use all this data, like, before things go wrong?
It's about going from, oh, shoot, problem, to, yeah, I saw that coming. And that's where something called, what was it, Delta collection? That's the one. That's your secret weapon right there.
Okay, Delta collection. Sounds kind of cool, but also kind of mysterious. What is it?
So imagine you took a picture of your entire iManage system, right? Like a snapshot. That's your starting point. Now, instead of taking a whole new picture every time, which takes forever, Delta collection just looks for what's different since that last picture.
So instead of reading the whole book again, we just check for the edits.
Exactly. You get reports on what's new documents, files that have moved, permissions that changed. It's all in real time, and it doesn't slow anything down.
Now, that is useful information. I bet that's huge for security, right?
Oh, yeah. And imagine you get an alert the second something fishy happens. Someone tries to get into something they shouldn't, a file goes missing. You're not behind the curve, you're already ahead of it.
That's reassuring. But this isn't just about, like, being a data detective, is it? What about compliance? Like those industries where you have to keep track of every little change.
Don't worry, iReports has got you covered there too. Because it's always tracking changes, that becomes your audit trail, right? It proves that everything's legit. No more scrambling to figure out what happened and when.
Like a security camera, but for data. Okay, so we've got the whole proactive thing down. But MacroAgility also talks about how you can automate these iReports too.
And it's a big deal. Automation means all this powerful data stuff, it just runs on its own. So you can, work smarter, not harder.
Automation. That can mean a lot of things. What does it mean here?
Okay, so let's say you need a report every week on all the documents that people outside your company looked at in a certain client's workspace. Instead of doing that yourself every single week, you automate it.
You just set it up and forget about it.
Exactly. The report runs itself. The results show up in your inbox. You don't have to do a thing. That means you're free to do the important stuff, like looking at the data and deciding what to do about it.
No more busy work. Sign me up. What other stuff can you automate with iReports?
Pretty much anything you can think of. You could have reports that automatically flag like compliance issues or tell you what storage space you can clear up or even track how well people are using new workflows.
It's like having a whole team of robots making sure your data is perfect all the time.
Exactly. And the best part is, as your needs change, iReports can change with you. You can customize dashboards, make new reports, even connect it to other systems. It's all about being flexible and being able to scale up as you grow.
So we've gone from this big mess of data to a system that's organized, efficient, and maybe even, dare I say it, intelligent. We've seen how iReports helps you make sense of your data, manage it before things go wrong, and even put some of it on autopilot.
It's been quite a journey learning about all this.
It really has. But before we wrap up, it's important to remember that tools are only as good as the people using them. Data, even when it's organized and presented nicely, it doesn't mean anything unless we actually do something with it.
That's right. Don't let your data just sit there. Go explore it, understand it, and then, most importantly, use it.
I couldn't agree more. And to all of you listening, thanks for sticking with us on this deep dive into iManage and MacroAgility's iReports. Now go out there and conquer those data jungles.